My name is Brian O'Neill, and I'm a pre-sales mobility engineer at SHI. And like a lot of job titles, that's not hugely informative. My role involves working with SHI customers to solve their deployment challenges. Having started my career at SHI in our shipping department, I focused on international logistics. I understand exactly what's involved in getting hardware into the hands of your end users. From there, I moved into the configuration center, learning about different equipment and different customer needs when it comes to how their devices are built and used. Later, I joined our deployment team, working on site with our customers, gaining insights into the challenges they face once equipment arrived on site. My next move was to join an exciting new team being set up at SHI, our mobility practice, which was led by Kevin English. And for those of you who are on site for the event, you can catch up with him at SHI's booth or see him present live on Wednesday morning. I've been a part of this team now for 10 years, and it's expanded dramatically over that time to meet our customers' needs. The team now includes over a dozen hardware and software experts, vendor-dedicated technical resources, along with carrier activation specialists. All of these people are passionate about the technology that we use and the way it can improve our lives and the lives of our customers. We work with our customers, internal technical resources, and our sales teams to design custom solutions to solve challenges for all of SHI's customers, from large global and international enterprise and public sector organizations to small and medium-sized businesses across a range of industries and geographies. The solutions we develop and put into production at SHI's Configuration Center by a team of 16 technicians who are dedicated to our mobility practice. While this has been an area of growth for SHI for some time, the pandemic acted as a catalyst for many organizations to leverage our services, and demand has grown significantly, not only in terms of volume, but also in the complexity and requirements for increasingly sophisticated solutions. SHI has the experts available to design and execute for our customers. But what good is all of that if you can't source hardware? Global organizations are now relying on their IT service partners to hold more inventory than was ever previously required. More than just a reseller, SHI is a partner here to help you navigate the ever-changing supply chain challenges and scarce device availability. Our ability to buy, hold, configure, and deploy enables our customers to develop long-term plans over a 12 to 18-month timeline. This ensures your organization is able to source and configure any and all future devices. We all know that hybrid workforces rely on more than just a computer to be productive. Folks need things like docks, monitors, webcams, and headsets to perform their jobs effectively in a home office. The ability for SHI to buy, hold, configure, and deploy all of the equipment your users needs, and then ship it out from a global network of integration centers, gives organizations a huge advantage in the battle against workplace modern supply chain constraints. I want to talk a bit about a trend we've been seeing organizations adopt that allows for greater flexibility and can increase productivity and happiness of the users you support. And that's a choose your own device model, or CYOD. The traditional logic of centralizing an organization's hardware around a single manufacturer has been met with a disastrous challenge. Years-long supply chain shortages that have hampered the IT industry, having to wait months, a year, or even longer to receive new devices can paralyze your onboarding and refresh efforts and leave skilled employees unable to work effectively. Expanding employee choice liberates your organization from the uncertainties of today's supply chains, while giving users the choice to work with their preferred device. In a choose your own device program, your organization owns a wide range of devices that users can choose from. Being open to multiple manufacturers and device types will inherently broaden your ability to procure devices that can actually ship. The global semiconductor shortage began well before the pandemic, before the unprecedented demand of devices needed for remote learning and remote working, along with the increased demand for consumer electronics. While it predates, it certainly wasn't helped by the US-China trade war, and is now being further exacerbated by a steady increase in demand for 5G and edge devices. In parallel, we've seen investments in data centers that support hybrid work as well as e-commerce. All of those factors create serious supply chain issues for certain types of chips, as foundries are unable to keep demand in spite of their continued investment in capacity. So how can we overcome these challenges? If your organization's preferred Windows devices are impacted by supply chain constraints, Apple is a very viable option. If you're a Mac admin in a Windows environment, you're ideally positioned now to support users who already use Mac in their personal lives, or for those who are open to change to ensure business productivity. The new hardware being released by Apple is changing the industry completely, and it's forcing organizations to take notice, not only for their dramatic performance and efficiency, but also in lower total cost of ownership. These factors are only further accelerating Mac adoption and increasing Mac as a choice in organizations. Apple's development of the M1 and M2 chips means that they're no longer competing for the same scarce resources as other technology vendors. As a Mac admin, you can work with your wider IT team to enable Mac users, and even as a Windows admin supporting a minority of Apple users with the right tools and skills, you can keep your users happy and productive by offering them Mac as an alternative. This increased adoption can easily be supported by tools like Jamf Pro. Jamf Pro allows Mac admins to level the playing field between PC and Mac, doing things like leveraging Azure and Intune to allow conditional access. So even in a Windows-dominated environment, there are no roadblocks to using a Mac. Jamf provides tools to integrate users with the systems that they need. Organizations are growing their workforces at a much faster rate than the staff tasked with supporting the technology that all those users need. Not only is the workforce expanding, but organizations are now reevaluating return to office and transitioning to hybrid and fully remote roles, with end users being more widely distributed than ever before. Your end users may no longer be expected to have to visit the office to have their IT problems solved. And as admins, we don't expect you to have to go in there either. With innovative tools like Jamf Pro, keeping your endpoints these employees use updated and in compliance with your organization's security policies is simple. But as I mentioned earlier, that's not the whole challenge, is it? Many hiring managers now have the latitude to recruit the best person for the job, regardless of their location. Meanwhile, established employees are making lifestyle decisions that can mean moving further away from offices to live in less urban locations, or be closer to family and friends. When you discover that your organization's latest recruit is located several hundred miles away from your nearest office, neither they nor you are going to want to travel to get them set up. Even with the automation provided by Apple Business Manager and Jamf, making time in your schedule while staying on top of day-to-day responsibilities to provision devices for new hires can be difficult. And that new Mac, iPhone, or iPad probably won't be all those users need to be productive on day one either. As organizations transition to hybrid and fully remote roles, users will need all the peripherals I mentioned earlier, as well as overlooked items that they may have typically received at their first day in the office. Things like corporate branded backpacks, polo shirts, notebooks, and water bottles, just to name a few. When it comes time to deliver all that equipment, it is not the best new hire experience to rely on a drop ship model. Equipment might end up shipping from several distribution locations, and likely all not at the same time, even if devices are even readily available. Having multiple boxes arrive from various carriers also opens up the possibility to items being lost and damaged while in transit. Ultimately, it's going to leave your user with a pile of boxes and packaging that they now need to dispose of themselves. Not to mention, recording all the identifiers of that equipment that ship from multiple sources can be difficult and inconsistent. It's exactly those tedious aspects where SHI's Integration Center excels. Our team not only has the ability to perform the technical work of provisioning a new device in Jamf, so it's ready to go right out of the box when the end user receives it, we've also perfected those simple, yet sometimes overlooked aspects of a deployment, things like asset management and the responsible disposal of factory packaging, to name a few. As devices ship from our facility, identifiers are captured by our technicians, and they're provided to our customers through an automated and customizable email report, or they can be integrated directly into your asset management system, such as ServiceNow. Along with capturing device identifiers, SHI can accommodate all aspects of your deployment. The application of asset tags, laser engraving, UV printing, installing privacy screens on a Mac, or glass screen protectors on an iPad or an iPhone, installing iOS devices in cases, and kitting it all with the accessories that your users will need to be productive. We package it all to your specifications, be it for bulk distribution or kitting for an individual. We also provide the flexibility to ship your equipment however you need it delivered. That might be in bulk to a central point for distribution, to regional offices all across the country, or directly to each end user's home. Despite handling all of these logistical aspects, we are more than happy to extend our white glove services further by shipping to your deployment schedule, even down to an exact day of delivery. And this has been key for supporting fully remote workforces based out of a home office, but who also spend their time traveling to visit customers and events. To meet those unique challenges, SHI has the ability to stand up a custom portal that your end users will access to specify an exact day when they'll be home to receive and sign for their delivery. In the past 2 years, we've partnered with a number of colleges and universities all across the country that were facing the same challenge, a desire to provide the most authentic experience for incoming freshmen despite the circumstances. SHI worked to help create welcome kits with things like sweatshirts, t-shirts, bags, iPads, and more. As with the home office user, these custom kitted welcome packages were shipped to each student's home ahead of their first semester. Now, if you're an individual that supports iOS users at your organization, you know all too well that if you give a user a new iPhone or iPad along with an OtterBox case, there's a very good chance that case will never be installed onto the device. The device will inevitably get damaged, and they're going to embarrassingly call the help desk, and that in turn relies on you sending them out a second device. All of that creates additional cost to your organization for replacement, along with the loss of productivity for that user, and not to mention you, who has far better things to do. Protect those assets from physical wear and tear that your end users will inevitably inflict on them by putting the protective cases on before they leave our configuration center. This will reduce support calls and provide a better user experience that saves time, money, and waste. Let SHI handle the case installation of your next 4,000 iPad rollout. Believe me, I know that's very tedious business. Even the best hardware in the world needs to be periodically refreshed. And this can be a huge challenge for a small IT department. How do you get that new Mac, iPad, or iPhone into the hands of 4,000 end users quickly and efficiently? How about recovering the existing assets that are currently in the field? Again, ABM and Jamf Pro are great tools, but they can't solve for every requirement of your refresh. Fully remote sales forces will need things like their iOS devices to be activated with a cellular carrier before it reaches them. Our carrier activation specialists will work with your organization to activate the new devices on your existing carrier plan, and then our configuration technicians will ensure that service is active prior to them being sent out to your end users. This keeps your users productive and happy because they won't be calling the help desk the first day they receive their device, taking away all the joy from their upgrade. I talked about peripherals and the accessories and shipping users an enrolled device in ABM only being part of the equation. In our configuration center, we can bundle all those peripherals in a single box, simplifying the delivery for your users. Now, we've also covered delivering that new hardware, but what about recovering the existing assets? With Apple devices, even when used, they still hold a ton of residual value. How can your organization realize that value? And what about physically receiving back 4,000 iPads? The asset management aspect alone is daunting, not to mention the physical space that's required. SHI's Asset Recovery Service provides customers with a means to securely retire devices and protect sensitive data with SHI's buyback program. This is a holistic approach to securely recover assets, no matter the manufacturer. Macs, PCs, iOS devices, Surface to servers. You can realize maximum ROI on your end-of-life technology while remaining compliant with contracts and current environmental standards. The program provides your choice of upfront buyback in the form of a check, an SHI account credit that has no expiration, or even carbon credits. Data destruction is included, if required, that follows DoD and NIST guidelines with certificate of destruction, along with zero landfill and recycling and disposal. A serialized audit report will be provided for all recovered assets. The program provides logistical support too. Boxes can be shipped directly to users for remote collection, on-site packing and transportation options are available, or even a QR code that users can bring their old device to a FedEx store and simply initiate their return. This program is another way we can further simplify your refresh, because return labels can be provided right alongside that user's new device, making the recovery of their old hardware quick and efficient for literally everyone. On-site data destruction is also available for organizations such as financial institutions, or in a situation where hardware is not allowed to be removed from a facility. We all know that Apple hardware is incredibly powerful and efficient. M1 and M2 machines offer a dramatic increase in performance, which translates into greater productivity and satisfaction for your users, who we already know are ready to have Mac as a choice at work. While the machines are fantastic, you may have concerns if your organization is prepared to integrate these new systems to fully realize their potential. Or maybe you need that extra assistance to demonstrate to your Windows-focused peers how integrating Mac can be achieved. As an Apple authorized reseller, SHI is able to help with Apple's Mac Evaluation Utility, MEU. MEU is a non-invasive, non-intrusive, security-conscious application developed by Apple for enterprise customers that will return a customized report containing over 50 attributes, providing you with a unique analysis of your environment and your ability to deploy Mac today, while also providing you areas of improvement, all at no cost. And so you can evaluate the performance of Apple Silicon. SHI will send you a complimentary M1 MacBook Pro or an M1 or M2 MacBook Air for you to run MEU from. And this machine is yours to keep after the evaluation. The utility only takes a minute to run and provides a comprehensive readout to show how ready your organization is for Apple Silicon. MEU is also perfect for those who have just transitioned to Apple Silicon, as it'll help your IT team better optimize and streamline their processes, which will allow end users to harness the best performance of their Apple fleet. After running the tool, a consultation will be scheduled with one of our experienced Apple Solutions engineers, who will walk you through the data generated in an easy-to-understand format, complete with meaningful metrics and actionable next steps to offer Mac as an integrated part of your organization. The itemized MEU output, along with our consultation and custom analysis, will provide you with a clear path towards achieving you and your organization's goal of integrating more Macs in your environment, gaining helpful insights to best practices for modern device management, such as profiles, policies, and credentials, migrating from older binding practices, along with app compatibility and security. This all works to increase productivity and reduce help desk tickets. For example, making sure things like corporate firewall rules are set up correctly from the start. MEU will provide network recommendations to extend VPN configurations to your remote workers. MEU can be instrumental in ensuring your hybrid workforce is set up for success. So come visit us in San Diego if you're in town, or you can stop by our virtual booth to find out more about how we can help you be the hero of your IT department and make the most out of the technology available today. I want to thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to working with you on your next deployment through SHI's Integration Center. Thank you very much.